Dow up a little bit. The yen pretty much unchanged. The British pound getting pounded. Been talking about playing the British pound to the downside, and the yen to the downside. Yelp moving a little bit lower. So as I look here, I see Lionsgate moving lower. Have this call spread on in Lionsgate. Looks like it's up a little bit of money in Lionsgate. AVP will go to full value of $1. The AVP spread will go to full value of $1. Microsoft unchanged. Very quiet day so far. Quiet day looks like so far. You know, it's been interesting. eBay down a little bit, MTG down a little bit. You know, I always say that you have to trade the market that's in front of you, not what you want it to be. You know, if I had to choose which way I'd want the market to go, I would want the market to always move lower. I usually trade better to the downside. Gonna offer my MTG puts at 20, so I have an order out there. HUN down 44 cents. AVP is up $2.50. Apple up today. The market up so far. You know, Tim Cook we see speaking at 9:15. We're hearing some negative research on BlackBerry. URI up 60 cents this morning. Michael Kors, I talked about this yesterday. The only thing I could rationalize was putting on a long position. The stock has rallied 4 quarters in a row on earnings. What did the stock do today? Rallied once again. I did not play Michael Kors. Did not play Michael Kors. Disney pretty much unchanged. I still have this call spread in Disney. Calendar call spread in Disney. Still worth about 70 cents. AVP raging higher. That's interesting. I have a short call spread. It will go to full value. Pretty quiet day. Let's see if there's any economic data. We had some upgrades and downgrades yesterday. Facebook got downgraded after the bell. We usually see a lot of downgrades. Look at Fossil now up $6. Fossil was unchanged this morning. Now it's up $6. So Fossil is not working for me as well. You know, I continue to say that I have been playing to the short side a little bit, and it has not been working. Fossil breaking to the upside, up over 6.5. This is the exact same thing CMG did. I was short call spreads in CMG, short call spreads in Fossil. They looked good in this morning, and then it broke to the upside. So, you know, I could do one of two things: get mad and pissed that I'm down money, which I am, or I can just suck it up and move on to the next trade. So I can either suck it up and move on to the next trade, or I can sit here being mad that Fossil broke to the upside. This trade this morning was basically unchanged. You know, it's been challenging trading these earnings. You know, LGF was right at this $20 level. Now it's selling off. It seems like a lot of these trades are winners, and then they switch and reverse to losers very quickly.
So that's keeping pressure on the Nasdaq in early trading. This is investors sit through what.
So I know I am down a little bit today in earnings. Earnings have been a little bit more challenging. Yelp went down to $20.20, and then it got some pressure. So that's frustrating too. RWT, I'm long some calls on that. I'm going to offer some of them at a buck. I'm going to offer some RWT calls at a buck. I am a little bit away on that. Apple now down.
cents a share.
Possible short setup here in Apple.
A restructuring that
I don't want to
includes
take
job cuts.
anything
There was
before
continued
Tim
weakness in
Cook
the firm's
speaks. We see
jewelry
Tim
business,
Cook
but we
speaking
did
at
see some strength
9:15.
up, sales up about 2% in Latin America, which is its largest market. Its stock is up as well in early trading. Goodyear Tire and Rubber actually came in with better than expected
March 1
results,
puts are bought for
forecast
35 cents.
2013 because of
CEDC.
weakness in the European markets. That's putting some pressure on its shares, as you can see, down over 4% today. And I just want to add on McGraw.
The stock has never traded under $1. That's weird.
Held earlier this
I'm
morning
assuming they're buying these against a stock position. CEDC.
The suit brought against
Let me look at these real quick.
unit by the DOJ, essentially repeating that
CEDC.
the suit was without merit, pointing out that the DOJ is seeking some
Paper bots March 1 puts.
To the CDOs in question
35 cents. It's versus open interest of 9,200.
Only earned about 15 million in revenue on rating those
CEDC.
CDOs. Just lastly, Barclays up on the news of its restructuring. Melissa, I'm going to
selling puts there naked. Doesn't seem like a bad deal. You could sell these puts for 60 cents. Like they'd be getting me long stock at 40 cents. Wow.
You know, if you look
250 vol.
Once again, while you see the equities trying to punch through a double top from its previous high, we see
Santelli's talking about double tops.
Could be the 13th day
GDI March 75 calls. GDI March 75 calls. Big order in Gardner, Denver. GDI March 75 calls trading. I'm not taking these. GDI March 75 calls.
Very, very similar in its development over the same time period.
GDI March 75 calls trading.
They're all still trying to
5,000 lot.
Yellen could try to split the
yeah, it's been in the news a lot. GDI, it's versus open interest at 6,000. I'm not going to take this trade. So paper bought.
But let's look at 2-day charts.
5,000 GDI March 75 calls for 50 cents
but on 2 days,
through the offer.
You can see we're still doing better than we were yesterday. If you look at Euro Yen, similar pattern. And if
not taking this trade in GDI.
Versus the dollar, it is
Apple selling off here a little bit.
From the dialogue regarding FX. Melissa Lee, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, Rick. Let's check out the latest moves in energy.
Apple possible short setup here. I think anything in Apple with a short here with a stop above 45.5 might work. I haven't taken anything yet. I have no position on Apple, but I think any short setup here might work. USG, I flagged that one. Getting a bid here. USG getting a bid.
Capability for missile capacity being
GDI, URI popping nicely here. I'm still in call flies in URI. Higher the better for URI, for LGF, for HOG. Spoo's now down on the day. This is a possible short setup in Apple with the stop above the high of the day. I think it might be a little bit challenging to trade an Apple before Tim Cook speaks. I don't understand what he could say to make the stock rally. I don't think he'll say anything at all, to be honest.
OPEC's latest monthly forecast coming out, talking about the world demand growth is going to be stronger than they anticipated, and there's going to be greater demand for OPEC oil. We are looking at the OPEC
get my February positions away and let me move on. BRE, we've seen a lot of paper. BRE April 50s. BRE April 50s.
Some of the losses that we've seen, we're still looking at
Lionsgate is now working out a little bit better. I'm in that spread at 87 cents. So this would be a nice landing in Lionsgate for earnings.
Back to you.
All right, Sharon, thank you so much for that.
Possible short setup here in Apple. Possible short setup in Apple. Have to have a stop above the high. So maybe like a stop at 338. So maybe a $5 stop. I think taking anything before Tim Cook speaks at 9:15 might be challenging. Kramer just said that MWW could be the next LinkedIn. Let's see, check out MWW.
So definitely the way to see it. This is the primo tour when you get to come from the balcony.
Kramer just said Monster Worldwide could be the next LinkedIn. Buying MWW here could be a decent do in MWW, basically on the Kramer News.
I think the $1 million prize kind of attracts some
Moody's cut bonds rating in Egypt.
I mean, they're really, really interesting, good flavors, and America gets to vote on the winner.
Can you describe what chicken and waffles tastes like? I know
you don't know? Have you never had chicken and waffles?
No. Has anyone here at this table?
I have, but I can't
MWW moving higher here.
Exactly. I know. That was a little interesting. interesting.
ESRX, I see
the first
puts
time I
being
tasted
sold.
it, but,
ESRX.
really creative, very interesting. The sriracha is a little spicy, which is really nice. And then cheesy garlic bread is cheesy garlic bread.
when I look at you, I don't think potato chips.
Oh
I think
my God.
potato chip consumer,
I am,
really.
you know, I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm not chocolate candy.
Apple
I'm
coming back a little bit. Not
solids,
taking any
potato
Apple trades
chips,
before Tim
pretzels,
Cook
like,
speaks.
that's what I like. Chips are
I think
right
it's
up
too
my alley.
risky. APC moving lower. I'm going to offer some APC puts at 85, and then at 110. I am long these 82.5 puts in APC.
Now. I think they moved. Yeah, they just.
That's always a good sign when they move it up.
They moved it up. It's very, very exciting. It's about 3 guys who are ready for love, and we have.
So I am down a little bit today in Fossil and AVP and Hun.
Excitement, love, romance.
One winner, 3 losers on earnings. That sucks.
As far as advice that these
but I got to keep my head in the game. Spoos look a little bit weaker here.
The State of the Union takes place tonight.
MDLZ. Coca-Cola, I didn't trade anything. Stock's down 72 cents. I was trying to buy call spreads, and that would not have worked, so I'm glad I didn't. MDLZ.
Ending the war and,
big tail there.
Ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell, getting the economy back on track. I think it's, he did a lot for America, and he has a lot more to do. I'm so happy immigration reform is now on the table, and of course, he's doubling down on his theory tonight about how to grow the economy from the middle class out. So
you can look at the Apple at the money straddle, Apple at the money calls, at the money puts. See if the straddle's up or down today. It's around a $14 straddle yesterday. I think Apple will head south.
Right. No, I mean, I think
I don't really see what Tim Cook is going to say at the Goldman Tech conference. If they wanted to make some big announcement, I think they would make it when in front of their audience versus a Goldman audience.
So I think you can never win that battle. You really have to be solution oriented, and that's what his rhetoric is really about, and how he delivers.
Pound moving lower, the yen moving higher.
That is not really probably the focus of the speech. It's let's get solutions done in a bipartisan way.
Does the name Rachel Fox ring any bells?
Rachel Fox?
Rachel Fox. An actress, played a young actress on Desperate Housewives, was on our show last week.
Was she my child?
Did she?
No, she was older than that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, then no.
But she has a financial blog called Fox on Stocks, and I think we have a short soundbite. Let's take a listen.
I don't necessarily
so just kind of sitting here
Apple quite as much because it is so. I mean, people are always talking about it.
Hanging out for a little while. Haven't done any new trades today. I saved my notes from yesterday. If you guys want to look at any of my notes, any of my
just to make the point that she
earnings trades that didn't work out. No trade is a winner or loser till it's closed, though. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe it'll sell off or something like that. I did save all my notes.
Of Pepsi.
Yeah.
One of the most dynamic CEOs in America.
Most dynamic.
I will update my trade book in a little while as well.
She's an amazing human being, and how she,
Panera down a little bit, 80 cents. Still long a straddle in Panera.
Down within the company, not only from PepsiCo but Frito-Lay and all the brands.
So you look at a chart like HUN,
you see a lot of
and this is just frustrating from my point of view. HUN, I can't rationalize putting on anything but a bullish trade in HUN. It looks like a great channel. Stock has rallied a lot on earnings. Then it got crushed, right? So it's down about 3% today. It's still in this bull call spread, but it's frustrating. It seems like it wanted to go higher. Same thing with MAS, and MAS did go higher. I would have probably played MAS the same way. I didn't put a trade on an MAS. And it's been hard. These earnings, I feel like, have been a little bit harder. Avon products. If we look to see how it's moved on earnings over the last 8 quarters, it's never ripped to the upside. And today it's just ripping to the upside. Look at this. I mean, this is the most it's gone to the upside in 9 quarters. I can sit here and say, of course it's the quarter I traded, or, I can just move on to the next trade, right? AVP moving, APC moving lower. APC moving lower.
Thank you. Well, it is a speech investors and gadget fans.
I'm offering some of my 82.5 puts at 85, still a little bit away. APC, I still need to break lower.
And what it could mean for Apple stock. And as we had to break
Apple lower here. Talking about only trading Apple to the short side today. I don't see what Tim Cook can really say. Haven't done any new trades today yet. It's also the year of the snake. The markets overseas have been closed for 2 days as the new year starts. It's the year of the snake right now. 4 of the worst corrections in history have been in the year of the snake. Dell unchanged. Lionsgate is my only earnings winner. I bought this calendar spread for 87.5 cents. It's worth about 110 right now. But I continue to reiterate the fact that no trade is a winner or loser until it's closed. So no trade is a winner or loser until it's closed. So even though it seems like a winner right now, it's not a winner or loser until it's closed. Yeah, usually it's good news when they lay off a bunch of people. Hey, we're laying off a bunch of people in the stock rallies. That's what happened in Citi as well. You know, the common trend is if you lay off a bunch of people, it's a good thing. I had to laugh. Cleveland Cliffs has earnings. Cliffs CLF has earnings. GDI moving up a little bit after March 75 calls were bought. Lionsgate volatility is getting wamboozled. No unusual option activity yet that I want to play. SCTY. Solar City. I didn't know they had options in it. Look at URI. Moving up here, URI. Still have a piece of the call fly on. The 52, 55, 57. 220. 230. It's worth about $1.50. URI. Still have a piece of my call fly on. I'm going to leave that on. At least I'm getting some money in there.
It's great to see you.
Sure.
It seems like
so I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
They're fighting over talk on CNBC. Apple continue to move lower here. I think Apple's going to continue to move over. Well, the call fly is worth about $1.50 in URI. It still has time left, right? So if today was Friday, the URI call fly would be worth exactly, $2. But it still has time left, right? So the 55, if I'm long the 52.5s, short the 55s, and long the 57.5s, right? The 55s are going to have the most gamma, and they're still going to have a little bit of premium left, right? So they're still going to have a little bit of premium left. So the URI call fly is only worth about $1.50 right now. I bought it for 33 cents. I still have a little piece on. I hope it goes right to 55, but there's a long time, which is today and the rest of the week, where the stock can move. So the 55s are still going to have more premium. It's never going to go exactly to, exactly that $2 level until like the day of expiration. Yeah, it's full value if it expired. The full value would be $2.50, yes. So if it expired right now, it'd be full value, right?
Their shareholder meeting, and their shareholder meeting is towards the end of this month, and we expect them to do a similar announcement by middle of March or end of March.
So there has been a little bit of a run in the stock of in terms of, leading up to this address where it's so widely anticipated that Tim Cook will say something.
So I've been recording this, so I'm going to cancel. I'm going to